If somebody's told you that bodyweight workouts in your home do not work, they are misinformed. All right, we are going to talk about in-home workouts that you don't need equipment, that are constantly changing to keep you from getting bored. Now, the best part about this is you're only going to need to do this 3, maybe 4 times a week. And if you do it for 30 minutes, you're going to get plenty of results. All right. So, whether you're training in the gym with weight or you're training at home with your body weight, the concept is the same. We are stimulating the muscle. So, if somebody's told you that bodyweight workouts in your home do not work, they are misinformed. I'm telling you from personal experience. In my careers, I traveled a ton. I did more, I guess you'd call it in-home or in-hotel bodyweight workouts than I can count. They yield plenty of results. I sometimes would get more sore from an in-home or an in-hotel room workout than I would go into the gym. It's very different stimulus. So let's get into it. 6 exercises we're going to talk about. Now, why these 6? Because they're compound movements. Compound movements are basically, it means that you have multiple muscles working at once. See, the idea here is to teach you how to invest X and get back X plus, meaning you feel like the effort you're putting in, you're getting a nice return. If you're putting in effort, you're putting in X and you're getting back X minus, no one is going to keep making that trade. So that's why we want compound movements, because every time you do something, an exercise or rep of an exercise, you're getting multiple muscles working at once. So the first exercise we're going to talk about is the bodyweight squat or the air squat. All right. Now, this is a monster of an exercise. It's basically going to work everything between your knee and your hip and even a little bit into your lumbar, your lower back. So you're talking quad, you're talking hamstring, you're talking glute, you're talking groin. The whole kit and caboodle gets worked. So the bodyweight squat is definitely one that we want to include in these 6 exercises. And I'm keeping it simple with just 6 so it doesn't get too complex or it's easy to execute. The second one is the push-up. Now, push-up is also a compound movement. You got the tricep, you got the chest, you got the front delt. A lot of times people say, well, I can't do many push-ups. Don't sweat it. As soon as you can't do a push-up, a regular push-up, drop from your toes to your knees and keep going. Now, people say, oh, it's a girl push-up. Well, I do plenty of girl push-ups because when I'm doing a workout that includes me doing a push-up, when I can't do a regular push-up anymore, I drop to the knees and I keep on going. This is part of the stimulation of the muscle. This is part of what's going to get you that big return. So don't sweat it. If you can't do many, just drop to the knees and keep on going. Now, you're going to really be surprised at how much better you're going to get with something like that. If you can only do 10 push-ups, it won't be long before you're doing 15. Because by dropping your knees and continuing, we're really stimulating that pathway, that movement, those muscles to get better. All right. The third one is the pull-up. Now, pull-up is one, it's something that you're going to need an apparatus for. There are plenty of different devices that you can basically put in a door jam. But, some people can't do pull-ups, and I get that. So the pull-up is to the upper body what the squat is to the lower body. But moving forward, what we're going to do when I'm creating some sample workouts, I'm going to keep that one out of the equation. So because unfortunately, I think more people cannot do pull-ups than can do them. If you can do them, just thread them in however you choose. Great exercise. You got the back, you got the biceps, the list goes on. Then we're going to go to the lunge. Now, the lunge is another lower body exercise, and it's going to focus more on the rear of the leg. You're going to get some quad for sure, but you're definitely going to get the butt. You're definitely going to get the hamstring. So coupling the body weight squat and the lunge is really going to hit those legs from many angles. So you're going to get a lot of return on this one. So, and especially as men get older, our butts start to shrink. So for lunging, we're still building that butt. All right. Now let's go. These next 2, they're core, basically, I want to say core exercises, but they lean towards the core. The Superman is a doozy. Now, if you don't know what this exercise is or any of them, just, Google it, YouTube it. And once you have a visual, it all makes sense. But a Superman is basically going to work your posterior chain. What's the posterior chain? The posterior chain is the series of muscles that goes basically from the back of your neck all the way down to your heel. Now, the Superman is going to work everything from the knee up, basically hamstring, glute, lower back, even into a little bit of that thoracic back. And this is another really, really good exercise. You're going to get a lot of return because a lot of muscles are working, and that's what we're after. And the last one, now the plank is one of those, again, it's not very sexy, but what you got to remind yourself when you're in there is that you're getting a ton of muscles working. If you want a flatter stomach, a plank is going to be a big piece of your roadmap. So again, we could have put something like a sit up in here, but you're going to get more from a plank. The whole goal of this video is to help you get the most return on your investment of time and effort. So again, with the plank, many people say, I can't do a plank very long. Don't sweat it. Just like the push up, go to your knee and keep on going. And when you do this, it's going to really help your body get better because you're not quitting when it gets tough. You're actually just making it a little easier and continue to go. And you'll see that your planking will get substantially easier, much like your reps on your push-ups will start to increase. All right. So here's the big six here. And if you can't do pull-ups, we're talking 5. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a kind of a series, and I'm doing this off the cuff. So this is not planned in terms of these workouts I'm going to create. I am literally just going to look at this list and I'm going to say, okay, today, this is what I'm going to do. So start off, you understand that the plank and the push-up, those are going to be more of a time-oriented thing. So basically, you're going to do, say, a 30-second plank, right? And then you just drop to your stomach and you do, say, a 30-second Superman. So literally, boom, boom. You've got 1 minute down, but you've got 2 exercises, 30 seconds apiece, right? You could put those 2 together and you can make a lot of progress. Okay. So we're going to set this workout up. So you're going to run through everything I'm describing 5 times, basically 5 sets of everything. But we're going to put the Superman and the plank as a superset. So you're getting that one done all as one. Then you're going to do a lunge. Okay. So a lunge is something that you're literally, if you do anywhere between 5 and 10 per leg, you're going to really, really feel that. So let's just say you're getting started, you're going to do 5 lunges per leg. And this doesn't have to be walking. You can literally stand still, step out, and then push yourself back to a standing position. Switch legs, do the same thing. So you're going to do 5 per leg on your lunge. Now, basically, you're going to do a bodyweight squat. Now, bodyweight squat, maybe here you're going to do 20 reps. So you're going to wrap out 20 reps on the bodyweight squat. Okay. Then you're going to drop down and you're going to do push-ups. And you're going to do 20 reps there. So you're going to work through these with a little rest in between. And you're going to do this 5 times. And you'll be pretty happy with how you feel. You'll be happy with how the challenge goes. And there's so many different ways to do it. So that's literally just kind of just randomly running straight through. Now I'm going to make one that's a little bit more well thought. Okay. So if you want to be really efficient with your time, what we're going to do is we're going to take all the stuff where you're on the ground and we're going to pair them all together. Okay. So what we'll do with this one is we're going to take the plank, the Superman, and the push-up, and we're going to bring those all into one. So once you're on the ground, you get these 3 done, you stand up, and then you're going to go into your lunge and your squat. So we're going to create even more efficiency with this one. Let's just say you're a little tight for time. Well, here we go. So you're going to get on the ground, you're going to do a plank. And again, maybe you do this for 30 seconds. As you get better, you'll choose to do a little more. So 30 seconds with a plank. Then you're going to go from that plank and you're going to wrap out some push-ups. Again, who knows what you're going to be doing. Maybe for this one, you're doing 10 push-ups and you're going to do 5 more push-ups with the knees down, or the girl push-ups, whatever. I enjoy calling them girl push-ups. I have no problem being a girl when I'm doing push-ups because I know it's helping. So you're going to get your plank, then you're going to drop down to your push-ups, then you're going to go straight into your Superman. So you hit 3 exercises and you haven't even got off the ground yet. Boom. Now you're going to stand up and you're going to go into your bodyweight squats. Now, the reason we're doing these first is because we're going to fatigue the leg a little bit when we go into the lunge, which is after the bodyweight squat. So the good part about this Again, we're tight for time. So we do say we're doing 20 reps on the bodyweight squat. Well, now those lunges are going to be really difficult. You might only need to get 5 per leg. So again, looking at this workout, you hit the ground, you did the plank, into the push-up, back to the Superman. You got up, you did your bodyweight squats, you got those legs fatigued. Then you went into your lunge because your legs were fatigued. You only need to do 5 a leg. Boom. And you run through this 5 times. And again, it's even a little bit more efficient because you're pairing things together where you don't have to move around as much. Now, the question is, what do we do with rest times? Well, great question. So, if you're one of these people who's wanting some sort of cardio or hit involved in your in-home workout, all you're going to do is keep these rest times a little shorter. And what are the rest times? Well, I could give you an exact time, but that doesn't really serve you well because it's going to change constantly. As you do this, you're going to get in better shape fast. And you realize, holy smokes, I can do a lot more in a shorter period of time. So, what you want to do is you want to basically work through the exercises that either one of these these workouts I just described, but you never really want to allow yourself to catch your breath. Now, if you're looking to not worry about the cardio or the hit, you're going to want to wait until you catch your breath a little bit better so you can push it a little bit harder on the next exercise. So it's really to add cardio or hit into this, it's just about shortening your rest periods. And there's a thing that I call a sweet spot that in your rest period. So if you go too quickly, you can't execute the next exercise. If you wait too long, you're wasting time. So what you're looking for is you never really stop huffing and puffing, but you can still get the next exercise done. So you see how there's so much freedom here. There's so many ways you can change it up and you can just decide what you want to do for the day. Maybe a day you're like, man, I'm really, really not feeling it today. Well, just do it and just make it easy on yourself. And when I say make it easy on yourself, keep the rep ranges low, keep the exercises in a way that seem interesting to you. And more importantly, just do it because you don't have to have a great session every time. What you need to do is have consistent sessions. Now, on that level, what I want to touch on and in home workouts, I think probably the number one thing that screws people up is a thing that's called productive procrastination. And I suffer from this too. So this is pretty much across the board. Because you're in home, you're thinking, man, I got to start this workout, but all of a sudden you realize, oh, I got to go get the laundry. I got to go do this. The things that need to be done. But what they're doing is they're basically distracting you. You know, they're keeping you in procrastination of getting your workout in. You can do the laundry or you can do what you need to do when the workout is over because the key is not to start in with this productive procrastination because once it starts, it's very difficult to stop. So you just have to realize that when it's time to do this, you're going to find reasons or other things that you think need to be done. And of course, there are situations where those things do need to be done, but the majority of them don't. They can be done after the workout. So when you recognize that this is going to happen when you're in an in-home setting, it is massive. So that being said, the term is productive procrastination, and it's really, really easy to do if you're not aware you're doing it. So awareness is really the first key there. So really what we're coming down to with this is we've given you a lot of tools to have some really interesting, fun workouts and get a lot of return on your investment of time. But I think the thing that we really have to that really need to share in this video, and it kind of falls right along with the productive procrastination, is we just need to show up. If you're saying, okay, I'm going to do this 3 days a week, do it 3 days a week. And if you're having a hard time getting started with this, here's the tip. Just make small promises to yourself, small commitments of what you're going to do. Maybe 30 minutes is too much. Maybe say, you know what? I'm going to start off with 5. I'm going to do 10 reps of every exercise. And then when I get to the Superman of the plank, I'm going to do it for 15 seconds. Perfect. Just do it. Check the box. And what we're doing is we're creating the habit of showing up 3 times a week or whatever your commitment is. So when you say that you're going to do it and you do it, basically you're honoring the word or the promise to yourself. And once you get that part down, it becomes easier to show up because there are going to be days when you're going to make it easy on yourself because just being there and getting it done is a win. There are going to be other days where you're all fired up, full of piss and vinegar, and you're going to just crush this stuff. Those are great too. But what's important, especially in an in-home setting, is working on the skill of habit of showing up. So the thing I really want to leave you guys with is this: you don't need gym, you don't need equipment, you don't need a whole lot of things. What you need is a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of understanding, which we provided here, and more importantly, the I guess you'd say you need to start on the habit of showing up because all of what we described, it's great, but if you're not doing it, it's not going to work for you. So again, what stops most people is the first step. So start small, small promise to yourself, easy wins, develop the habit of showing up 3 times a week. Maybe you start at 5 minutes and each couple weeks you add another five, however you want to do it. It's your world, it's your life, it's your choice. But if you take this information we talked about in this video and you work on the habit of showing up, obviously identifying productive procrastination, get that out of the way and start small, create the habit, you are going to have great results in a very, very small window of time in your day. So, for those of you that don't have the time, this is really a massive tool. Going back to myself, the reason I did so many of these workouts in hotel rooms is because I didn't have the time to make it to the gym. And I got the workout. I felt good. But more importantly, I made the habit of showing up in my hotel room, in my home, whenever I needed to do it. And I got massive results from a small commitment of time. So, that being said, this video is packed with great information and some tips to actually get started. That being said, get it, put it to work, go get those goals. And it's only going to take you 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week.